Welcome to English with Teacher. I'm Teacher. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you're having a great day. So, thank you to everyone who's watching the videos, liking, sharing, subscribing, everyone who's watching the videos through to the end. That's really helping me out. It's driving up my watch time. We're getting there. We're growing, right? We're getting, 20, 30 subscribers a week. I need 1,000 subscribers. I need like 4,000 hours of watch time. So we need to build it up. But yeah, it's coming along. I'm very happy with it. So today, we will be studying some advanced English and having a nice conversation. We will be learning out of the Bible, the New Living Testament, and we'll be learning out of 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 1 to 9. And so, we'll be doing this with my co-host. So, sir, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Alex from China, and I love English very much, and love Bibles also. Thank you.
Yes, it's a good combination. I'm very glad that I found out that you attend church and everything, and that we can learn from this. It's actually very high level to understand the Bible. So, if you can, I always tell my students, if you can understand the Bible, you can understand anything. So, okay. First of all, I will get you to read the verses in front of you.
Okay. So look at Apollos and me as male servants of Christ, who have been put in charge of explaining God's mysteries. Now a person who is put in charge as a manager must be faithful. As for me, it matters very little how I manage.
Whoa, hang on. Don't forget to pronounce the whole word, okay?
Okay.
So it matters very little.
Okay. As for me, it matters very little how I might be evaluated by your by any human.
Whoa. Evaluated.
Okay.
Okay. When it ends like that, like a TED, you pronounce it like ID. Evaluate id.
Id.
Right.
How I might be evaluated by you and by any human authority.
Right.
I don't even trust my own judgment on this point. My conscience is clear, but that doesn't prove I'm right. It is the Lord Himself who will examine me and decide. So don't make judgments about anyone ahead of time, before the Lord returns, for He will bring our darkest secrets to light, and will reveal our private.
Hang on. Go back and do that again. For He will
bring our darkest secrets to light, and will reveal our private motives.
Whoa, so hang on. Reveal. Right.
Reveal.
Our private. You still need to work on your V's, sir.
Always forget it.
Everybody has their Achilles heel, and I think maybe your V's are your Achilles heel.
Yeah, private motives. For He will bring our darkest secrets to light and will reveal our private motives. Then God will give to each one whatever praise is due. Dear brothers and sisters, I have used Apollos and myself to illustrate what I have been seeing.
I've been saying. Saying.
Saying.
Right.
I've been saying. Oh. I have used apples and myself to illustrate what I've been saying. If you pay attention to what I have quoted from the scripture, you won't be proud of one of your leaders at the expense of another. For what gives you the right to make such a judgment? What do you have that God hasn't given you? And if everything you have is from God, why boast as thought it were not a gift? You think you already have everything you need. You think you are already rich. You have begun to reign in God's kingdom without us. I wish you really were reigning already, for then we would be beginning with you. We would be reigning with you.
Whoa. Reigning. Right. Now that is reigning like a king reigns.
King reigns.
Okay. Like you have someone who's president for a term. But if it's a king or a queen, you have their reign. Is the amount of time that they're in power. Okay. So I wish you were reigning already. So I wish that you were in God's kingdom already.
Okay. I wish you really were reigning already, for then we would be reigning with you. Instead, I sometimes think God has put us as episodes on display, like prisoners of war at the end of a victor's parade, condemned to die. We have become a spectacle to the entire world, to people and angels alike.
Okay, just one thing. Where it says the end of a victor's parade, condemned to die.
Condemned to die.
Right. I think you said condemning.
Condemning. What means condemning?
It's the same type of thing, right? Condemned is someone who is something in the past, that we were condemned. Right? At this time you are condemning me. Okay, so it's all about whether you're talking past, present, future. The difference between condemned and condemning. Okay. But being condemned means that something bad is going to happen. Right? There's been like a rule brought out. So someone who's going to be put to death has been condemned to be put to death.
Yes, I know.
Okay? Okay, so let's go back and we will get you to explain this.
So look at as matters when putting China explaining God's mystery. Who is putting China as man must be faithful. In a matter where little harm might be can you and bad in human society. Trust my own judgment on this point. My conscience is clean, but that doesn't prove. It is the Lord Himself who will examine me and decide. Could you explain the fall? My conscience is clean, but that doesn't prove I'm right. It is the Lord Himself who will examine me and decide.
Okay, so your conscience is clear means that you don't feel guilty.
Yes.
Right? You think that you believe what you're doing is right and you don't feel bad or guilty about it, okay? But but what he's saying is that doesn't mean that I'm right. That doesn't mean that I'm not guilty. In the end, it's God who has to decide. Okay? So I think that's the way a lot of us live. We hope what we're doing is right.
Yes, I think I'm doing the thing I'm doing is right. But why? I need the Lord Himself to decide.
Because God's the one God's the determiner over what's right and wrong. Because God says what sin is, God says what good is, God says what bad is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what anybody on earth says. In the end, it's God who decides whether what you did is good or bad.
All the things just by myself, judgment by myself. But the thing is right or wrong, judgment by the God.
Right. We try to do good, but in the end, God decides whether what we did was good.
But I think it is. I'm doing the things for my decision.
Right. Same as me. Okay, I think that teaching English out of the Bible and putting it on YouTube is good.
Yes.
Okay? But I don't know if God agrees with me.
But why we need God to judgment it?
Because He's the one that judges whether you go to heaven or hell. He's the one that judges what's sin and not sin.
I don't think so.
Yes,
I know.
After we die, we stand in front of God for judgment.
Yeah.
So God has the last say on whether you lived a good life or a bad life.
Great.
Right? So that's what they're saying here, right? I think what I'm doing is good and I'm trying my best to do good, but in the end it's God who has to decide if I'm doing good.
But in China, I have received another language, another talk, another idea. It is that you just do the right things. Not the future. Do not think about the future. Just do the right things.
And we should do the right things just to do the right things anyways.
Yes.
We shouldn't do them in hopes for a reward from God. Right? We should just do the right things and be good to people because that's what we should do, right?
Yeah.
But in the end, like they're talking about teaching, right? So in the end, they're saying, I think what we're doing is good, but God is the last say in if what we're teaching is good.
Okay.
Okay?
It is a judgment by your work.
Right. It's like if you're working away and you think what you're doing is great, that doesn't matter, right? Your boss has to think what you're doing is good. It's the exact same type of thing, basically, right? You think you're doing great when you go for your assessment after 3 months or a year or whatever. The boss is like, no, you're not doing good. What are you talking about? So, yeah, that's the way that works.
Okay.
And that's what it's saying, right? It doesn't matter what other people think of me, right?
Yeah.
It matters very little how I might be evaluated by you or any other human authority. Right?
Yes.
In the end, it's going to be God who has the final say of what I'm doing.
Yeah. The God judgment to you. What you do is right or wrong.
Yes. And like I said, we hope what we're doing is right, but it's the same as your work, right? You hope what you're doing is good. You hope the boss likes it. But in the end, he's the one who determines whether he likes it or not, right?
Yes.
Okay, you understand that paragraph now?
Yeah.
So let's go on to the next one, number 5.
Okay. Don't make judgment whatever before the Lord returns, for he will bring our darkness secret to light, and will reveal our private motives. Then God will give to each one whatever promises to. Yes, I understand it. So don't make judgment about anyone ahead of time, before the Lord returns. For he will bring darkness secret to light, and will reveal our private motives. Then God will give to each one whatever praise is due. Then God will give to each one whatever price is due. What means this sentence?
That means that if you're doing good, God will reward you for that.
Oh.
So if God thinks you're doing good, he will reward you for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But see, God also knows your heart.
Mm-hmm.
God also knows your heart.
Oh,
so it's not only what you're doing, it's your motivation for doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can be out doing things that seem really good, but if you're doing it for your own glory so you get famous, then God might not think it's so good, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. On to 6.
Mm-hmm. Dear brothers and sisters, I have used apples and myself to illustrate what I've been seeing. If you pay attention to what I've quote from Scripture, be proud of one of your leaders at the expense of another. And to make such judgment, what do you have God hasn't given? And if everything you have is from God, what boast as sought into a gift? Yes, it's also the last sentence. What do you have that God hasn't given you? And if everything you have is from God, why boast as though it were not a gift? What means gift?
Something given to you.
Yes, I know the gift, but the gift in this program, it means...
Okay, so there's 2 ways of looking at something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can look at when you do something and you do it well,
mm-hmm.
You can say, I did that really good, right?
Yes.
Or you can look at it, and the way they want you to look at it is to say, I did that really good because God gave me the ability to do it good.
Oh.
Right? So you're actually, God deserves the praise for you being able to do stuff well. Because he's the one who gifted you and made you to be able to do that well. So that's the gift, is God giving you the ability to do that well.
And what for example, I have learned from school and have certification of the grade.
Right?
Of the degree. So I know the knowledge is from the teacher, and for what all the things I do by the knowledge.
Okay, but listen now. Yes, exactly. Now listen. Only certain people can learn what you learned. Other people are built to learn different types of things. Okay? So somebody might be gifted in IT, somebody might be gifted in mechanical engineering. Right?
It's all by my choice.
Well, no, it's not by your choice, it's by the natural ability you were given too. Okay? And that natural ability that you were given was gifted to you by God. I know. This is one of the big steps into being a believer, right?
Mm-hmm.
God designed you. God built you. God designed your brain to like certain things. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just listen to me now.
Mm, yeah.
I have never taken a course in teaching English.
Yes.
Okay? God gifted me the ability to hear and break down and correct things with people's pronunciation and that. Right? God designed my brain to be good at that type of thing.
Okay.
Right? So different people's brains are designed to be good at different. I always say everyone's brain likes a certain type of puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can look at something and go, oh, it's easy, it's just this, and I look at it and it's a mess. But I can look at something else and go, oh, that's easy, it's just this, and this. And you're going to look at it and go, I don't understand that, right? Because our brains are designed differently. Right? So the way our brains are designed, if we're created by God,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, the fact that we live in a planet and we have oxygen and everything is because God created the world.
Okay.
So if God created everything, then He created my brain.
Yes.
Right? And so that's what it boils down to, right? You took what God gifted you in, and you got the degree in what God gifted you in, so it was nice and easy for you to probably go to school because your brain was designed to think like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
My father in the early 80s was rewriting computer programs, and he only had a 5-year grade 5 education.
Mm-hmm.
But he could rewrite a computer program because God designed his brain to be able to see that, and it was easy for him.
Okay.
Right? He had no education in it. He graduated. He left school in 1946.
Oh.
Okay? He was born in 1932, and he left school in 1946 to work in the mines.
Wow.
But he could rewrite computer programs.
Oh. Great.
Without any training.
Great.
Because God designed his brain to look at that and go, that's easy. I can see every part of that. People can do that with music. I don't have a clue with music. People can do that with computer I cannot do that with computer programs at all, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, give me language and teaching people how to speak, and I can do that easy.
Yeah.
Right? So people say natural gifting, but the natural gifting is a gift from God.
Okay, I know.
Right? So no matter how you break it down, everything you're good at comes from God and the way He designed you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this is one of the hardest things for me to wrap my head around when I first started becoming a Christian, and then I broke it down. Because that's one thing I always do is I try to break things down to the smallest level, to the deepest level, so that I can understand how everything works, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you break it down, everything you're good at, every ability you have, is a gift that God designed into you when He created you.
Okay. Something about it.
Yeah. It's a different way of thinking, right? So yes, your teachers probably did a very good job of explaining different things to you, right? That helped, that built on your natural gift.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's people contribute and everything else that help you do these types of things, but the base of it is your brain works a certain way because that's how God created you.
Yes.
It's a very, very different way of thinking, right?
Well, everything is created by the God, and everything what you anything what you do is God said to you?
I don't know. I don't know how many small. I don't know how many small things, because there is free will in there. But a lot of what you accomplish, most of what you accomplish, is because of what God designed you to be able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, I'm great with language, right? I'm not very good with relationships with people. That's just right. So God created me to be good at one thing, and I'm not very good at another thing. But that's all part of God's plan for me. Right?
Yeah.
So, you have to accept everything, right?
Okay.
Okay. Are we on to number 8 now?
Yes. Like this, you think you already have everything you need. You think you are already rich. You have begun to reign in God's kingdom without us. If you really were reign already for then we would be reign with you. What means this sentence? I wish you really were reign already, for then we would be reign with you.
Okay, so if they were reigning, it would mean that it was the judgment and everything in Revelation had happened, right? So basically, I wish you were in heaven, because if you were already in heaven, then I'd be there with you. Because everybody's going to heaven at the same time. So that's what he's saying, right? I wish you were reigning in heaven, so I wish you were already in heaven, because then I'd be in heaven too.
Yes. Is there something God has placed on display, like prisoners of war at the end of the victory parade, condemned to die? We have become a spectacle to entire world, to people and angels alike. What means the ninth sentence? Instead, I sometimes think God has put us episodes on display, like prisoners of war at the end of the victor's parade, condemned to die. We have become a spectacle to the entire world.
Well, I think what he's saying is that he thinks God is holding them up as an example. Right? And if you know how the apostles died, you would understand what he's saying, right? But the apostles were faithful to the word, and most of them were killed because of spreading the word. Okay, and they were killed in some very gruesome ways. So he's saying that, God pretty much he thinks God is putting them on display. That no matter what happens, keep your faith in him. Okay? Yes. Because sometimes it won't be easy. So is there anything else, or are we good?
Yes. Okay, I understand it. Our decision to Christ makes us look like fools, but you claim to be so wise in Christ. We are weak, but you are so powerful. You are honored, but we are killed.
Okay, don't go on to that. That's for next lesson. Okay, so thank you for participating. And thank you everybody for watching at home. Thank you for watching through to the end. I really appreciate it. And I hope you learned some interesting stuff today. So you take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day.